We have an energetic group this morning. As always, the sides of our chair are our safety rails. I am recording this month's class today, so to put up on YouTube. We have October's up, and then also November's. Let me know if you don't have access to that. I can tell you where to go for that. All right, let's get started. Sitting up nice and tall, so you can scooch up in the chair to make sure feet are planted on the ground. And then stack shoulders on top of your hips and soften them down your back. And lengthen through the back of the neck. Sit up nice and tall through the spine. And then once you're settled, you can tap the toes, maybe close the eyes. Just feel the floor underneath your feet. And feel the chair, the support underneath you, holding you. And then relax the belly and the shoulders and the jaw. Feel the textures and temperatures underneath your palms. Notice any colors behind the eyelids. And feel the space in between the inhale and the exhale. A little pause at the top of the breath and at the bottom of the breath. First, without changing the way you're breathing, just first noticing. And once you've acknowledged the cadence of the breath, can you deepen the inhales and exhales? Breathe all the way down to the diaphragm at the base of the ribs. And feel the ribs expand out to the sides, the front, and the back. And now begin to exhale out your mouth. Inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. It could be a sigh. It could be silent. Or it could even be exaggerated, like a Once you've let out a few conscious, open-mouthed exhales, return back to the nose breath, in and out through the nose. This will guide us throughout our class today and guide our movements. Stay for 3 more rounds of breath, in and out through the nose. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes once again. Bring some life back into the extremities, into the body. And we'll begin to warm up through strength through the low legs. So just roll up through the ankles, point, flex the feet. And then from here, we'll plant down through the heels and lift the toes as much as you can. Feel the activation of the shins and the front of the legs. And then windshield wiper the feet out to the sides, and then toes towards each other. So active range of motion through the entire ankles. Maybe even spreading the toes nice and wide. Feel the strength building in the shins, the ankles, the sides of the legs. And then switch it out. So press through the toes, lift the heels, feel your calves engage, And then windshield wiper out to the sides and to center. Make this as exaggerated as you can, like you're drawing little rainbows with your heels all the way up and over. Stay with those big breaths in and out. If there's any hot air you need to release, if there's heat building in the body, you can use those open-mouthed exhales to get rid of that. And then we'll bring it back to center, and then lift the toes and lift the heels. The toes and the heels. Bring it all together. And then shake it out. Okay. Let's bring hands to sides of the chair. As always, if you want a little bit more balance challenge, you can reach the arms up over your head. But we'll bend and extend through the knee. Yep. Awesome. Starting with that right leg. And then we'll pause at the top. Give a little wave with your foot. And then maybe you wave through the entire hip. So instead of just moving at the ankle, we're moving the entire leg, internally and externally rotating at the hip. And then lower it down. Back up, little baby pulses up towards the sky. Sit up nice and tall, maybe hands come up overhead. And then pulse over to the right and over to the left. Keep that weight in the left heel. Bring it all the way back to center. One more little pulse and lower down, shake it out. Okay, other side, sit up nice and tall. It's gonna feel really easy to slouch because that gives us more room to extend. Let's keep sitting up nice and tall. So bend and extend, maybe even bringing hands to hips to keep that spine nice and straight. Keep breathing through. I know this is real hard. We'll pause at the top. Give a little wave at the ankle. And then move through the entire leg, internally and externally rotating. Okay, now we'll lift and lower. One more time, pulses. Sit nice and tall, maybe hands rise once you have that nice tall spine. Pulse out to the left and into the right. Woo, stay breathing. One more time, little baby pulse at the top and lower it down. Shake it out. We'll move straight into our marches. Marching up and down with the legs. Maybe you incorporate that extension as well. And as always, the slower you move, the more this will feel like core strength and strengthen the hip flexors, which are our quads all the way up to our psoas and the core. But the faster you move, the more that heart rate will get pumping. You can have dance party. You can incorporate some balance into this. Reach out to the sides. Make this your own adventure. We're here for a while, so you can always try out different things. There's no right way to do this. Or I should say no wrong way to do this. Couple more rounds of breath. Switch it up if you haven't already. And then bring it all the way down. Wiggle it out, shake it out. All right, everyone's favorite, we'll plant down through the feet. I say that facetiously. Hands can be on your hips, they can be on the side of the chair. With a super flat spine, so roll the shoulders down and back, start to shift your weight forward, shift your chest forward, and just dump some weight into your heels. This might be where you stay. This is strengthening the back, the entire posterior chains, the entire back line of our body. But once you start shifting your weight forward, you might choose to hover the booty just a little bit and then sink it back down. So this is teaching us how to stand up out of a chair without using any momentum. So sometimes we just like to hurl ourselves out of a chair. That's like the easy way. This is teaching us to do it the hard way, to activate the back of our body, to slowly hover us out. But you can always use the guardrails on the side of the chair. Again, anywhere along this level is perfect. Just shifting weight into the heels is doing wonders for the backs of our body. Great. Think of lifting with that exhale. We're almost done. And lower down. Whew. Done with all lower body. Let's move into the torso. Hands come to your thighs. We'll find our strong cats and cows. So inhale, roll the shoulders down and back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze through the shoulder blades. Open up the heart. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Stretch through the space between the shoulder blades and crunch the core. Inhale to open up. Squeeze the back muscles. Exhale, squeeze the front of the belly. Crunch it in. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. So our inhales and exhales really help link our minds with the muscles. So as we exhale to compress, we can use the core a little bit more. As we inhale to open up, that helps us engage the back. Weight stays in the feet. And shake it out. From here, we'll interlace fingers behind the head. Lengthen out through the back of the neck. And then gently press your head into your hands. And barely press the fingers into the back of the head. So the two are always pressing into each other so that we don't have this happen. Stay up nice and tall. And as you exhale, twist over to the left. Inhale back through center. And exhale, twist to the right. Move at your own pace. Inhaling to center. Exhaling to twist. If you feel those elbows start to draw towards each other, think of opening up and pressing the head back into the hands. This is actively strengthening our core while also warming up the spine, warming up the muscles. Once you've rinsed out your sides, we'll bring it all the way back to center. And everyone's favorite, hands come out to the sides. Find some circles to begin with. Notice how everyone has a lot of favorites that aren't actually favorites. And yeah, you're still here. Now from here, tap hands onto your shoulders and back out. Into the shoulders, back out. Stay with your breath. You can move as fast or slow as you want. You can go super fast if you want to, or really slow it down. We'll land with fingertips on shoulders and throw the softball. So drawing the elbows as far in as you can, then scooping them all the way out. I like to imagine drawing a really big circle or almost tracing a sphere with my elbows. So opening up and closing it off. Maybe even finding those cat-cow spines. So tucking the tail as you draw in, opening up the heart as you open out. And then we'll switch it out. So this is scooping the ice cream. We're gonna scoop the ice cream towards your mouth and then open all the way up. Stay with your breath. And then open all the way out to the sides again and cactus your arms. Then raise the roof, raise the roof. And then high five the wall behind you. So open it up, almost like the forearms are trying to high five the wall behind you, and then your palms. So alternate between the two. Keep elbows in line with your shoulders. That's the hardest part. One more time, we'll pause at the bottom. Scarecrow it out or robot it out, side to side. Can we all go to the right? And then the left, and then the right. The left one more time, all the way to the right. And the left, and lower it down, shake it out. Whew. Okay, done with shoulders, I promise. Little, moving into hands, so extend the fingers out nice and wide, and close them off. Open up nice and wide, and close them off. Then curl the pinkies in all the way to the thumb. Open up from the thumb all the way to the pinkies. Then switch it out, curl in through the thumb, open up at the pinkies. One way will be harder, that's okay. This is the hard way for me. And then shake it out, let the shoulders go. Brain teaser for this month is our Spock to reverse Spock. So we start in Spock. Yes. Then we switch it out. Ring finger to middle finger. Open it out. ring finger to middle finger. So then start to move as fast as you can. You can also bring your hands down so you can see them. That's a great starting point. Yep. A few more times. You got this. It's okay if your fingers aren't doing it. The fact that you're even linking your brain to your fingers is what we're going for. And then bring it down. Okay, let's start to stretch it out. So bring your hands. You can pull the fingers back towards your face, maybe wiggle out through the wrist, and then switch it out. And you can stretch through all the fingers. And then release it down, wiggle out through the shoulders. We'll sit up nice and tall, lengthen through the back of the neck, and draw the chin down so we have that double chin action. Then guide the left shoulder over to the left ear over to the left shoulder, and let the shoulder hang heavy. And then if you want, you can extend the right hand out to the side. Maybe polish the floor forward and back. Still keeping the left ear towards the left shoulder, you can draw the chin down towards the shoulder or up towards the sky. Still polishing the floor, and find any sticky spots. And then once you find that sticky spot somewhere in your body, use your inhales to breathe into that spot. Imagine the breath wrapping around that sensation and then pull it out with your exhale. I know it might feel physically impossible to breathe into a space that isn't part of your line of breath. Just imagine the energy going to that spot. Open mouthed exhales can help with this too. And then bring your hand up to your cheek, draw yourself back through center. And then we'll draw the right ear to the right shoulder. Pause here for a second, notice if this side feels different. But then you can extend the left hand out, polish the floor forward and back, or arc the chin down and up. Stay with the breath. It's the most powerful tool we have. Relax your jaw. Two more big rounds of breath. The right hand will draw up to meet the cheek. Bring yourself back through center. Wiggle it out. And then we'll draw the right arm across your body. You can grab for the elbow, the tricep, or maybe just the forearm. And wiggle your hand up and down. And feel the space between or behind the right shoulder blade. You can pause any spot that feels good, where you feel the stretch. It might not be behind the right shoulder blade, it might be in the back of the shoulder, or maybe somewhere else in the arm. And again, use that breath to breathe some space into the spot that feels tender. And then let it go, roll it out. We'll switch out to the other side. And breathe some space into the area that needs a little bit more love. And then let it go. We'll move back to our cats and cows, but this time moving more in a way of stretching than strengthening. So take your time. Exhale to close and compress. Inhale to open up. And you can also wiggle out side to side. You can maybe take some big rolls with the chest or the ribs or the neck. You can close the eyes to feel where the body wants to go. Does not matter what this looks like. Just notice what it feels like. Bring yourself back through center. From here, we'll twist. Bring your right hand to the back of the chair. Look over the right shoulder. Sit up nice and tall. Use your exhales to twist just a little bit more through the torso. And make your way back through center. We'll switch out to the other side. Left hand comes to the back of the chair as you sit up nice and tall. And then twist with your exhales. Inhale to sit up just a little bit taller. Make your way all the way back to center. From here, we'll plant down through the left foot and extend the right leg out long. And flex your toes towards your face. Now sit up nice and tall and straighten this front leg. Now, first option, hands can come to the side of the chairs. With your super tall spine, you shift your weight forward. Your chest can lean forward. And think of trying to scrub the entire leg back to deepen the stretch in the hamstring. Now you can stay here, or maybe your hand comes down to your thigh. Breathe some space into the hamstring. And bring it all the way up. And wiggle it out. Now we'll switch up to the other side, plant down through the right foot. Extend the left leg long, sit up nice and tall. And then hinge your way forward. This side might feel different, that's okay. Just notice. And gently press through that front heel to rise all the way back up. We'll find our figure 4 now. So we've seen this many times. You might know where you want to go right away, but first you can cross the right ankle on top of the left and think of pulling that hip back until you feel the stretch in the hip. If you need more, you can wiggle it all the way up below the knee joint or above the knee joint, maybe crossing the ankle on top of the knee. And then flex this top foot. And then think of pressing the knee down. Not necessarily with the hand, but maybe with the leg itself, activating the muscle. Sit up nice and tall wherever you're at. And then you can hinge forward, maybe sway side to side. And then release the leg down. You can use the hands to help with that. And sway the knee side to side. We'll switch it out. You can start with ankle over ankle, pulling the knee back. Or you can go straight into the position that works for you. Know that this side might be totally different. Just let the body tell you where it wants to stop. So avoiding any pain or pinching in the knee joint. Make sure that top foot is flexed. And then you can hinge forward or sway. Keep with the breath. And then relax the leg back down. You can sway the knees side to side. And then we'll return back to tapping the feet, lifting the toes, lifting the ankles, maybe rolling through the ankles, point flex the feet or the toes. And then begin to sit comfortably. That could still be sitting up nice and tall. It could also be relaxing back into the chair. Maybe the eyes immediately close, or you soften them to a spot on the floor. You can release the shoulders, let them relax. Feel the textures underneath the palms. Notice the temperature of the feet. And come back to the breath. Feel the sensation of the air as it meets the nose. And follow that sensation all the way down to the base of the lungs. Follow that exhale back out with the warm air leaving the nose, the mouth. Maybe letting out any warm air with open-mouthed exhales. And as you breathe here, lengthen your exhales 1 or 2 counts longer than your breaths in. And as you continue with this elongated exhale, soften the tiny muscles around the eyes. Maybe let them close. Relax the jaw and the tongue. Soften the neck, the shoulders, the arms. Release the hands. Feel the openness of the belly. Relax the glutes, the hips, the quads, and the hamstrings. Feel the space behind the knees. And relax through the shins and the calves and the feet. And silently connect into 3 things you're grateful for. Three things that you love about yourself. And 3 things that you're looking forward to. And finally, if you could put how you feel right now into a word or a phrase, what would it be? Slowly start to wiggle through the fingers once again, feeling the temperatures and the textures underneath your palms. You can rub them up and down the thighs. Send some gratitude for your legs, for moving you through life. And start to pat the hips, the belly, the chest, and the arms. Send some love, some gratitude for how they function, how they move you as well. Then you can bring the hands up to the face. You can massage the jaw, the temples. Send some love to you for exactly who you are, all that you've accomplished, and all that you'll continue to accomplish. You can pause here with the head and the hands, just sealing in these 30 minutes that you've devoted to yourself. Stay here for as long as you'd like. When you're ready, hands can lower down as we move back into Friday. Thank you all so much. Happy Thanksgiving. Basically Thanksgiving next week. So no class next Friday.